Is your pre-shot routine just another swing thought? Is it holding you back? Is it just adding more noise and constraining the movement, just like P1, P2, P3, P4? Or are you moving with ease, just the same as you would with everything else you use in life? Take a racket. How do you align yourself? Purely around the intention. And where's the intention? It's out there. So by using this environment, using this field of view to target the body, and that's every single part of the body, that's the racket as well, it's an extension of you. You have an awareness for this. And every part of this system organises itself in response to that intention. So when you watch the guys on tour, not that we're trying to copy these guys, but we can watch their mannerisms and their behaviour, and it's giving us a lot of clues. They don't spend too much time dwelling in this area here, because what's here? Not a lot, apart from you and the ball. This might not be the most beneficial cueing for your movement. This is not particularly stimulus rich, but it could serve to distract you by attracting your attention to this area. Very often where you place your attention becomes the intention. And now, is it hitting a golf ball? Is it aligning the feet, checking the grip, checking the shoulders to a target that's 150 yards away, and the ball's going to be curving to, and you're not going to see this club head when it's swinging, you're not going to really feel your movement in space, it's a reaction, and it's over in under 2 seconds. But think of every other sport you play or movement you make in life, your body reacts intuitively. The sighting is very important. And that's out here. This is the field of view that we're reacting to. So watch the guys on tour, and what are they doing? They're looking that way. They may move in with one hand on the club, 2 hands. They already know what they're going to do. They know they've already made the decision. There's clarity. This is where we're going. This is the shot. And now they're moving in response to the shot. Placing the club behind the ball. That's okay, because we need to stand to the golf ball, but that's it. There's no need to be looking at the golf ball. This offers no source of information apart from distance in relation to us, okay? And now we're going to look where we're going and take the grip. Maybe even pick the club up and waggle and feel the club face point in the direction you want to go. And then take the stance and move the feet around, but resist the urge to look down and check the feet. Resist the urge to look at the grip when you're gripping. Resist the urge to look at the club face and line it to the target from here when it's 150 yards away or 200 yards away or even 50 yards away. Where would you be looking if you were kicking a ball? How would you move? You'd look where you're going, you'd start to move around. What are you doing now? You're aligning yourself. So you can make that movement that's going to create the shot that you imagined. It was all about the imagination. It was all about the shot. It's reverse engineering. You see the shot, your body adapts. If we throw interference into this equation by cueing our movement visually in this space, grip, that's a constraint. The grip's a constraint. The stances are constraint. The club face is a constraint. All these constraints should be organising themselves organically around the intention. Now, if you've got a problem trusting yourself, don't go back to checking visually where you are, because you'll never trust yourself. You'll never ever trust yourself, because in order to trust yourself, you've got to take the leap of faith and allow the body to organise itself while you're looking over here. And if you look down and it's all a bit skewed, don't reorganise it here, don't adjust by looking down. Start the process again and practice until you feel this club head pointing where you want to go, and it feels just right. It feels, this is where I want the ball to start. This grip feels just right for this shot. This stance now, this feels just right for the direction I'm going to swing. And now I can look down, adjust my stance, not rushing, it's not look and go, it's settle and then swing. And then watch the golf ball. Stay in balance. This level of engagement here, this level of intention should be the same here as it was here. as it was here, all the way through. Does your engagement with the golf shot stop when you hit the ball? Does that golf ball affect where your intention is? After you've hit the ball, do you only watch the golf ball if it was a good shot, if it felt good? Or, regardless of what you sense here, do you make that finish with the same level of intent as you had at the beginning of the swing? Is the level of engagement here the same? If you're not feeling the same level of intent here with your movement, then there's probably been a lack of commitment. Maybe you're not trusting that your movement will produce the shot you want. Commitment is key, but the body's got to know where it's going to commit. If we don't make the follow through and we don't feel comfortable here, the body's probably not going to let you go there. There's going to be some resistance. So if you're reacting to the strike and allowing that to influence your movement, then we need to address where our intention is and where our level of commitment is. Throughout the whole movement, you should be committed. Watch the guys on tour. What are they doing? As soon as they hit the golf ball, they're looking where they expected the ball to go, and they're watching it with intent, and their movement is here. It's purposeful. It's very visible. There's still a level of intent here in their finish, the same as there was when they started, when they were looking, and when they made a practice swing. We're not just making a practice swing to feel free, to warm up, to just swing the club and feel the club. We're making a practice swing with intent and purpose, because this is what I intend to do. This is how this golf shot is going to feel. If we make a swing like this, the ball's going to do this in our mind. How good can you connect your movement to this image? This is key. Recognising your movement. So to recognise your movement, you've got to make the full movement every time and commit. This isn't the last golf ball you're ever going to hit in your life. So you don't need to approach it with anxiety, apprehension, and check yourself. Go through a pre-flight check. This grip, this stance, this posture, this shoulder alignment. Because that might be not how the body needs to move. That you might be putting yourself into a position that's actually restricting how your body's going to move. Your body already knows how it can move. It already knows how to create and use its movement potential to create your golf swing. So we've got to allow the body to organise itself. We've got to allow the body to find its most comfortable and optimal place to make the golf swing that you want. Otherwise, we're imposing constraints on the system the body's got to work around. And if your grip and your stance are the same as everybody else's, then surely we've all got to have the same golf swing. So we're constraining the system, we're actually inhibiting ourselves from finding our true swing, because we're doing the same thing that everybody does. And therefore, it's probably not going to be right for us. So we need to find our own way. And the only way we're going to find that is by becoming a very good observer of how the body is adapting. So we have to ask it questions. We've got to let the body move, respond, and then we reflect. We become very good at observing and developing an awareness for how the body wants to move. Look at the players over time. They've not all stood the same. Some aim left, some aim right, some stand tall, some stand more bent over. They found a way that works for them, and you've got to find the way that works for you. There is no pre-shot routine. We don't approach any task in life with a premeditated, systematic routine. Not in movement. Movement doesn't have language. What happened to movement before we had this very, very complex vocabulary? We didn't need language to move. Movement needs an intention. Movement is very much influenced by intention, and therefore where your attention is. And therefore where your attention is absolutely vital. And guess what? It needs to be over here, in this field of view. Think about how you move in everyday life. Think about how you move in sport in general. I bet you don't think about your movement like you do golf. As soon as you pick this up, you start thinking about how you move. But when you put it down and you walk away and you get in your car and you carry on with your everyday life and you go and have a game of tennis or five-a-side football, or you go for a walk, you go for a run, go for a jog, go for a swim, walk the dog, You don't think about how you move. Not once do you give it a thought. Not really, not technically, not explicitly. But you pick this up and oh my God, I've got to swing a certain way. I've got to grip a certain way. Oh, my grip's not right, my stance is not right, I'm not aiming right. Is my swing on plane? Am I pointed at the target line? Oh, I need club face control. I need swing path awareness. Suddenly, all this noise starts to enter the system and it's just adding more complexity. All we need to do is give the body good instructions and it's reacting to intention. The instruction's already there. How focused are you? Is there clarity on your intention? Do you know what you'd like to do? Are you just aiming straight with no real objective, or have you got a specific shot in mind? We need to recognise the movement that's going to create this shot, and that's what your practice swing is. Recognising the swing that you want, and that swing's going to take you to a finish. Recognising this finish, spending a moment in this finish. And then we can walk up to the ball and spend our time looking where we're going. Reacting to the conditions, the environment, where's the flag, what's the slope, what's in front of the green, behind the green. This is all absorbed and acted on before you even start addressing the ball. You've already decided what you want to do, and now you're just moving to the picture. Taking the grip without looking, moving the stance, maybe, and then looking at the ball just to calibrate where you are, to orientate yourself to the ball in response to this shot, and then we're good to go. And then committing to the finish. And if it doesn't do what you wanted it to do, that's no problem, but you're committed. Your body knows how that swing felt, it knows what the outcome was, and now it's down to how you train, it's down to how you recognise your movement patterns, and you go back. What do I need to do to change that outcome? Oh, I need to swing more like this, or I need to swing more like that. I need to play my draw swing, my fade swing. Remember, by the time this golf ball is struck, or you feel it's struck, it's already gone. You're feeling something that's already happened. We've got to have a feeling for the golf swing because it's not actually happening in the moment we sense it. It's almost instantaneous, but it's not. So we've got to, there's a latency, and we've got to feel that golf swing. We've got to recognise that golf swing before we actually play it. We've got to know what the movement is before we play the golf shot. That's what your training's all about. And your pre-shot routine, moving to the ball, standing to the ball, playing the golf shot, however you term it, that's all part of the process. But if you're having problems controlling the golf ball, it's probably not going to be your pre-shot routine that's going to help you, because there's probably more issues which are a bit more important, which are further up the hierarchy of that determinant model that you need to address. You need to develop the awareness, and then you can allow yourself to react with a bit more certainty, commitment. Because if you're not feeling confident about your golf swing, a rigid, systematic pre-shot routine ain't going to help you hit that ball straight.
That's good. Apart from you said hit the ball straight.
Yeah, change that.